Hello and welcome to a new. In this English class, we're going to talk about verbs that we use for accidents. Objectives. Review the different verbs we can use to talk about accidents. Differentiate the meaning of the phrasal verbs that use fall. And use the words in example using past continuous and simple past to talk about interrupted actions. So pay attention and let's start. The first verb we're going to check is sprain versus strain. These two verbs are most of the time associated with the overstretching or tearing of soft tissues in and around your joints. But there is a big difference between them. Okay, when we use the verb sprain, we're talking about a joint sprain, that is the overstretching of tearing of ligaments. And when we talk about an strain, is a joint strain, the overstretching or tearing of muscles or tendons. So remember, a sprain is about ligaments and a strain is about muscles or tendons. Let's check some examples. While John was playing tennis, he sprained his ankle. Susan strained her ankle while she was walking. The next two verbs are fracture and break. These two have the same meaning, breaking off a bone or cartilage. Okay, so here we can see a fracture, and the device that we use for a fracture is a sling. And here we can see in an X-ray how the bone looks like when it's broken. Let's check some examples. Peter was skating when he fractured his arm. While Susan was skateboarding, he fractured her wrist. Linda was skating when she broke his forearm. So you can use fracture or break when you break a bone. Whiplash. A whiplash is a neck injury caused by a sudden jerking of the head. This usually happens when you have a car crash. So here we can see like what happens with our necks when we have a whiplash. The head goes back, returns to the normal position, and then again to the front. So here we have the drought, the normal condition, and the heavy precipitation. Example, Christy whiplashed her neck in a car crash. And now, as you can see in the picture, she's using a neck brace to recover. The next three verbs are cut, scratch, and graze. So cut means to penetrate with a sharp-edged instrument or object, as you can see here in the picture. And a scratch is a damage or mark of the skin with something rough. And finally, a graze is to scrape the skin. Let's check some examples to understand the meanings. Peter cut his forearm while he was building a house. With a scratch, Mary scratched her forearm and hand while she was climbing a tree. And finally, my father grazed his knee while he was running. So here you can see how the injuries change according to the word. A cut obviously is more serious than a scratch or a graze. A bruise. Bruise versus hit or bump. A bruise is to injure by striking or pressing without breaking the skin, but causing a discolored spot to develop. So here we can see clearly how the bruise looks like. And a hit or bump is to cause to strike or collide. So what do you do when your child bumps his or her head? Yeah, these kind of accidents in children are very serious. So you have to pay attention to that, and if it's necessary, take them to the doctor. Example: Masha bruised her arm when she was cleaning her bedroom. While he was playing under the table, he bumped his head. The next two verbs are to sunburn and to burn. A sunburn is the peeling skin caused by overexposure to sun, and burn is to be damaged or destroyed by fire, heat, or acid. So in this case, burn, it can be caused by fire, heat, or acid. So let's check some examples. With sunburn, he got a terrible sunburn when he was taking a sunbath at the beach. With burn, when he was trying to put the fire away, he burned. The next three verbs are bite, sting, and splinter. So when we talk about a bite, as you can see here in the picture, it means to cut or tear with the teeth. So here we are talking about animal bites. With a sting is to prick or wound a person or animal with a sharp pointed part of the body that often contains poison or venom. And finally, a splinter is a small thin sharp piece of wood bone split off from the main body. So let's check some examples for each verb. Okay, the vet was bitten by a snake yesterday. My sister was stung by a bee while she was picking up some flowers from the garden. And the splinter, the child splintered his foot while walking with naked feet. So notice here how this verb differentiates. So bite involves the teeth. Sting involves a sharp pointed part, and a splinter is a small, thin, sharp piece. Now we're going to check the difference between the phrasal verbs that have as main verb fall. Fall down. When you use fall down, you can fall down the stairs, fall down the mountain, or fall down a hill. For example, Mark fell down the stairs when he was going to his office. With fall off, you can fall off a horse, a bike, a motorcycle, your chair, or a ladder. Hannah fell off the horse during a competition. The next two verbs, fall over and fall into. When you use fall over, you fall over an object or on ice. When you fall into a hole, you fall into bed, you fall into my arms, you fall into depth, or you fall into the pool. Examples: they fell over when they were ice skating, and he fell into the pool during the party. Finally, fall out of. You can fall out of bed, fall out of a plane, fall out of a window, and fall out of a car. The toddler fell out of his bed while he was sleeping with his brother. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but here we have some curious information. Most of the verbs reviewed in this video to talk about accidents are regular verbs. And the two verbs that were irregular, sting and fall, don't forget that they have a different verb conjugation. So the past tense of sting is stung, and the past tense of fall is fell. I hope this video clarify your ideas and help you to use the verbs in an appropriate way to talk about accidents. See you in the next video. Bye bye.